God says you've been feeling it for a while now, the tension between what someone says and what their actions quietly expose. The words sound comforting, convincing, even gentle at times, but something inside you has been stirring, telling you not to settle for the surface. And today, the message coming to you is clear. God has been watching everything, even the things you could not see, the things that were hidden behind smiles, excuses, delays, and half-truths. God has seen the thoughts that were never spoken, the motives that were dressed up as something innocent, the intentions that tried to slip past your spirit. And He is saying that the time for confusion is coming to an end. The truth that has been buried, softened, stretched, or disguised is going to rise, because God refuses to let you live in illusion. You have given this person the benefit of the doubt more times than you can count. You've tried to believe the best, tried to interpret their words generously, tried to assume they meant well even when something felt off. You didn't cling to suspicion, you clung to hope. You didn't look for lies, you looked for love. And God saw your sincerity. He saw that your heart wasn't trying to expose them, it was trying to protect the connection, protect the possibility, protect the little bit of good you hoped was still there. But the issue was never your heart. The issue was the conflict between what they said and what they lived. And God is the one who refuses to let you be trapped in that conflict any longer. Someone has been speaking in ways that make them appear loyal, devoted, invested, or honest, yet their spirit has been moving in another direction. They said they were ready, but they weren't. They said they loved you, but they didn't honor the responsibility of that love. They said they wanted you, but they entertained distractions that pulled them away. They said they respected you, but their actions dismissed your value. They said you were important, but they let other priorities interrupt what should have been consistent. God watched this duality. God saw the difference between the image they presented and the truth they carried. And now, God is shifting you toward clarity. You may not even realize how many nights God held your spirit together while you tried to decode mixed signals. You tried to understand why someone who claimed to care could also cause so much confusion. Why someone who said they didn't want to lose you behaved like losing you wouldn't affect them at all. Why someone who said you mattered treated you like an option they could pick up and put down whenever it suited them. God heard the questions your heart whispered. God felt the weight on your chest when something didn't add up. God saw the doubt that kept returning after every smooth promise. And instead of judging you for holding on, He admired the purity of your intentions. He admired the way you still chose kindness. He admired the way you hoped for honesty even when honesty wasn't being offered, but now God is stepping in. When words and truth no longer match, He intervenes. When someone's behavior contradicts their declarations, He begins to reveal. When your heart is at risk of being misled, He starts exposing what was meant to remain hidden. Not to punish you, not to hurt you, but to protect you from the slow erosion of your spirit that comes from believing in someone who refuses to be true. God has been waiting for the moment when you are emotionally ready to see what He saw all along. And that moment is approaching now. The truth that is about to come out is not meant to break you, it's meant to free you. God is going to show you why certain conversations felt incomplete, why certain explanations felt shallow, why certain behaviors kept repeating, why your spirit kept sensing something you couldn't articulate. God is not bringing the truth to light so you can feel foolish, He is bringing it so you can feel empowered. He wants you to see clearly. He wants you to stand in reality, not illusion. He wants you to stop doubting your intuition, because your intuition was His whisper. He wants you to discover just how accurate your spirit has been. You're not imagining things. You're not dramatic. You're not overthinking. Your spirit was picking up what their words tried to hide. And God is about to validate every feeling you pushed aside so you could be patient. God is about to bring clarity to every moment that made sense only halfway. God is about to reveal the truth that was silently shaping the connection, even while someone was trying to convince you everything was fine. This person may not even realize how transparent they are about to become. When God decides to uncover something, nothing, not charm, not excuses, not manipulation, not timing, not distraction, can stop what is coming. God exposes gently at first. Little signs. Small inconsistencies. A slip of the tongue. A delay that reveals a priority. A reaction that reveals insecurity. A message that shows divided attention. But when the gentle warnings are overlooked, the revelation becomes stronger, clearer, undeniable. And God is saying that the phase of subtle signs is ending. The season of unmistakable truth is beginning. Someone has been telling you what you wanted to hear, but living in ways that contradict the future you hoped for. And perhaps you tried to make it work because you saw potential in them. You believed they could grow. You believed they could step up. You believed they could evolve into someone who wouldn't hurt you. You held on to the possibility that they meant well even if they didn't act well. And God honors the purity of your patience, but He won't allow that patience to be wasted. He won't allow your compassion to become your weakness. He won't allow your love to become your trap. God is about to reveal whether this person's heart aligns with their words, or whether their words were just a way to keep you close while they sorted out their own confusion. Some truths will hurt for a moment, but they will free you for a lifetime. Some revelations will sting at first, but they will heal everything that was quietly breaking. Some clarity will make your chest tighten, but it will also open a door you couldn't walk through while you were holding on to someone who refused to be fully honest. And yet, here is the surprising part: the truth coming to light is not only about them, it's about you. God is about to show you what you were worth all along. You're going to see just how mismatched their treatment was to your value. You're going to see why certain people were never meant to hold your heart. you're going to see why God didn't allow that relationship, connection, or bond to fully form. He was protecting you from a future that would have drained you. He was keeping you from building a life with someone who didn't live in truth. He was positioning you for the love that would honor you the way He intended, and yet, God is also a God of redemption. For some, the truth He reveals becomes a wake-up call. A chance for them to finally be honest, finally choose transparency, finally choose maturity. Sometimes God brings truth out not to end something, but to transform it. Other times He brings truth out to close the chapter completely. But either way, the truth is your liberation. And God is saying He will not allow you to stay in the dark another day. You will soon understand why your spirit couldn't rest. Why your heart felt divided. Why your mind kept asking questions you tried to silence. Why you felt both drawn to them and unsure of them at the same time. God saw the intention behind every word they spoke. And now He's saying, enough. No more confusion. No more guessing. No more living between hope and doubt. The truth is coming because you deserve clarity. God is not exposing the truth to embarrass anyone or to ruin anything. It's because He loves you too much to let you keep investing in something built on uncertainty. He's watched you give and give, hoping the other person would meet you halfway. He's watched you justify their inconsistencies because of the moments when they seem genuine. He's watched you forgive things you should never have had to endure, simply because your heart wanted to believe the best version of them. And He's watched the way you kept showing up even when they showed confusion instead of clarity, hesitation instead of commitment, excuses instead of effort. You didn't ask for too much. You didn't expect too much. You simply wanted honesty, respect, consistency, care, things that should be basic and natural in any meaningful connection. But when someone's heart is divided or distracted, the basics become complicated. The simple becomes heavy. The promise becomes shallow. And God saw that imbalance. He saw how often you quieted your own needs to make room for theirs. He saw how often you minimized your hurt because you didn't want conflict. He saw how often you accepted half answers because you were afraid of losing the little you had. And now He's telling you that you don't have to settle for confusion anymore, because here is the truth: someone has been speaking to you from their uncertainty, not from their certainty. They said they cared, but not from a place of commitment. They said they needed you, but not from a place of responsibility. They said they wanted you, but not from a place of readiness. They said they would try, but not from a place of genuine intention. Their words came from a desire to hold on to the comfort of your presence, not from a desire to grow into what the relationship required. And God sees the difference. He sees when someone speaks from comfort instead of conviction. He sees when someone speaks from fear instead of truth. He sees when someone speaks from loneliness instead of loyalty, and so the truth is rising. There are things they didn't tell you, not necessarily to hurt you, but because they weren't ready to be transparent. There were conversations they avoided because they didn't want to confront their own contradictions. There were decisions they postponed because they didn't want to lose you but weren't ready to choose you. There were moments they held back because choosing you would have meant letting go of something else they weren't ready to release. And God saw every hesitation. He saw every compromise. He saw every moment when they tried to balance you in something else, even though your heart deserved to be first. But now the season of hidden motives is ending. The season of unclear intentions is ending. The season of almost, maybe, not yet, and I don't know is ending. Because God is stepping in to separate what is real from what is pretended, what is sincere from what is convenient, what is divine truth from human confusion. He is stepping in to protect the future He has for you, one that does not involve guessing games or half-committed hearts. You have a destiny that requires clarity. You have a calling that requires emotional stability. You have a purpose that requires your heart to be aligned, not entangled in someone else's indecision. And God will not allow someone else's uncertainty to derail the path He is preparing for you. That is why He is revealing the truth, not to take something from you, but to return something to you, your peace, your worth, your confidence, your direction, your spiritual clarity. For a long time, you felt guilty for wanting the truth. You felt like asking hard questions would make you seem insecure or needy. You felt like being direct might push them away. But God is showing you now that transparency is not too much to ask for. Honesty is not a burden. Clarity is not a demand. It's a foundation. And you were trying to build something meaningful on sand because their words sounded like stone, even though their actions kept shifting beneath your feet. Now God is about to show you exactly what has been shaking beneath the surface. It may come through a conversation that finally reveals what they've been holding back. It may come through a moment where their actions expose what their words tried to conceal. It may come through information you weren't expecting but needed to know. It may come through your own sudden clarity, one of those moments when everything finally clicks, and the confusion you carried breaks like a fog lifting. However it comes, you will know it's God. The timing, the clarity, the confirmation, it will feel too precise to be coincidence. And here is something important: God is not just exposing the truth about them. He is also revealing the truth about you, specifically, how much you have grown. Because the version of you from months or years ago would have ignored the signs. You would have minimized your intuition. You would have begged for breadcrumbs. You would have compromised your standards just to keep someone close. But now you're stronger. Now you're wiser. Now you're spiritually awake. And God has been shaping you, preparing you, strengthening you so that when the truth arrives, you won't crumble, you'll rise. You're not the person you used to be. You've outgrown emotional chaos. You've outgrown manipulation disguised as affection. You've outgrown inconsistent love. You've outgrown people who only show up when it's convenient. You've outgrown situations that drain your spirit. And God's revelation is simply the final step that will release you from what no longer matches your growth. But here is something unexpected. The truth might reveal that this person does care for you, deeply, but their fear, immaturity, or divided loyalty kept them from showing it. Sometimes God exposes the truth not to end the bond, but to force someone to grow up. To force someone to choose honesty over comfort. To force someone to confront what they've been avoiding. Some people don't realize what they're doing until God shines a light on it. Some people don't understand the weight of their actions until God removes the shadows, so don't be afraid of the truth. Whatever is revealed will be exactly what your spirit needs to move forward without regret. God is saying, I am bringing the truth. Not to break your heart, but to guard it. Not to punish you, but to elevate you. Not to shame anyone, but to align you with what is real. There comes a moment in every spiritual journey where God stops allowing you to live in the tension between what someone says and what they actually live. You've reached that moment now. You've been faithful, patient, forgiving, gentle, understanding, even when it cost you. You gave the connection time to grow. You gave the person space to mature. You gave the energy they weren't giving back. And God saw all of it. None of your love was wasted. None of your effort went unnoticed. Heaven counted every tear, every hope, every prayer, every moment you tried to believe in something that kept feeling unstable. And now, God is saying, this is the moment where truth replaces confusion. You may not realize how much emotional weight you've been carrying, how much space uncertainty has taken up inside you. You've lived between what they told you and what your spirit kept whispering to you. You've lived between their promises and their patterns. You've lived between the version of them they wanted you to see and the version of them they didn't want to confront. And that split created emotional exhaustion, even if you tried to hide it, but God is lifting that weight from you. You're going to feel lighter, suddenly, unexpectedly, unmistakably. When the truth comes out, your spirit is going to breathe in a way it hasn't breathed in months. You're going to realize how much confusion drained you. You're going to feel the difference between peace and uncertainty. You're going to understand how powerful clarity truly is. The moment the truth rises, your heart will know freedom, and God wants you to know this. The truth will not break you. It will align you, whatever comes to light, whether it reveals someone's divided intentions, someone's hidden feelings, someone's fears, or someone's lack of readiness. It will be exactly what positions you for the relationship designed for your soul. God doesn't expose to destroy. He exposes to redirect, correct, and protect. Truth is His way of rescuing your heart from paths that lead to disappointment. You might discover that someone never intended to hurt you. But they weren't ready to love you either. You might learn that they were trying to keep you close while still holding on to something else. You might learn that their heart cared for you, but their habits kept betraying that care. You might learn that they spoke beautiful words, but lacked the maturity to back them up. And though these truths may sting, they will set you free from false expectations, or, you may learn something completely different, something unexpected, that someone did care more deeply than they ever expressed, but fear held them back. That they were fighting battles you didn't know about. That they were torn between who they were and who they needed to become. That they hid truths out of insecurity, not deception. That they remained silent not because they didn't feel, but because they didn't know how to speak from the vulnerability all love requires. Whatever the truth is, God is bringing it with perfect timing. He is not too early. He waited until your heart was strong enough. He is not too late. He stepped in before the confusion became damage. He is right on time, because now you will actually hear Him, feel Him, and follow Him. Your spirit is ready for what's coming next. This is the moment where everything shifts, where the fog lifts, where the guessing ends, where your heart finally knows what is real. You won't have to ask again. You won't have to decode mixed signals. You won't have to chase clarity. You won't have to read between the lines of someone's inconsistent behavior. God is closing the door on confusion permanently. Truth is the key that unlocks your next chapter, and when it comes, whether it releases you from someone or gives someone the wake-up call they needed, you will step forward with new strength. You will walk with a calmer spirit. You will love yourself more deeply. You will trust your intuition more confidently. You will see your value more clearly. Because God is not only showing you the truth about them, He is showing you the truth about yourself. You are wiser than you realize. You are stronger than you know. You are more spiritually sensitive than you give yourself credit for. You are not someone who gets fooled. You are someone whose compassion delayed the clarity that your spirit already sensed. The truth is going to confirm everything your heart felt but couldn't articulate. And after the truth arrives, God is going to guide your next steps. You won't be left alone with the revelation. You won't be left confused about what to do next. The same God who exposes will also direct. The same God who reveals will also restore. The same God who uncovers will also uplift. Every step after this will become clearer, easier, lighter, more aligned. Everything that is meant for you will move toward you with intention, not excuses. Everything that is not meant for you will fall away naturally, not painfully. Everything that aligns with your future will move with clarity, not confusion. This is the season of truth, and you are stepping into it with divine protection covering you on all sides. No more mixed signals. No more emotional guessing. No more holding on to someone who can't hold you back. No more believing words that aren't supported by action. No more letting someone else's uncertainty become your burden. God is bringing the truth forward, not to shake your heart, but to settle it. You are being prepared for a love that is honest, consistent, present, committed, transparent, and aligned. A love that doesn't hide. A love that doesn't confuse. A love that doesn't waver. A love that doesn't require detective work. A love that speaks from the heart and lives from the soul. What's coming next will make sense of everything you've been feeling, and when the truth finally reaches you, you will understand why God allowed the delays, the doubts, the distance, the tension, and the intuition. He was aligning the truth to meet you at the exact moment your spirit could handle it without breaking. You are stepping out of confusion and into revelation. You are stepping out of uncertainty and into divine clarity. You are stepping out of someone's words and into God's truth. And this truth will lead you to everything your heart has been quietly praying for.